On a dark and stormy night in Gotham City, Batman races over to Arkham Asylum with a recently apprehended Joker. As the Joker is being brought to his cell, Batman is asked by Arkham security to stand aside and venture no further as he may unsettle their more dangerous residents. While watching from the distance overlooking the Joker's imprisonment, he laments with Jim Gordon that the Joker gave up and surrendered without a fight, and that something seems very off. It's revealed Harley Quinn is in a security control room, and as the Joker is being taken away, he attacks a guard while Harley opens a security gate for him to escape through. Batman rushes down only for the cells around him to open and to be ambushed by a group of inmates. You quickly realize the Joker is exactly where he wants to be, and he has big plans for Arkham Asylum and Gotham as a whole. It's up to Batman to make his way through an asylum full of lunatics, supervillains, and wait, are you serious? Juggalos? Okay. Can he stop the Joker from raising an army of Titan-fueled criminals while preventing other supervillains such as Killer Croc, Poison Ivy, and Scarecrow from wreaking havoc on Arkham Asylum? Become Batman and save the day in Arkham Asylum released on August 25th, 2009 on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, with the Windows release about a month later, all to overwhelmingly positive reviews by both fans and critics alike. Arkham Asylum was a standout in a year chock full of memorable franchise starting, altering, and defining games, such as Pokemon Platinum, Uncharted 2, Dragon Age Inquisition, Borderlands, and more. If you look anywhere online for the 2009 Game of the Year awards, you're going to see Arkham Asylum rightfully standing amongst these gaming giants. Arkham Asylum eventually had a remaster in the form of Batman Return to Arkham, which not only came with Asylum, but also came with a remaster of Arkham City for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC in 2016. Nintendo just now getting their ports as of 2022. I played both versions, but for convenience sake, I chose to play Return to Arkham Edition on the PS4 because I have a serious need to collect achievements and trophies, and my 360 is currently in hiding. Arkham Asylum is the first game in a beloved Arkham series, consisting of Asylum, City, Night, and Origins, with the Court of Owls alleged to be in development. Now, I say alleged because I have been waiting forever, and please God Rocksteady, it's been over 7 years, and I don't know how much longer I can wait. Anyway, Asylum has changed the gaming industry forever. It set the standard for what a superhero game was supposed to be. The free-flow combat is fluid, the world is immersive, and you get to feel what it's like to truly be Batman. Arkham Asylum had a profound impact on me growing up. I mean, I literally love this game so much that I got all the achievements twice on Xbox 360. I mean, for some reason, the original version and the Game of the Year edition had separate achievements, but I'm not going to complain. That's more achievements for me, more Batman for me, you know what I'm saying? The graphics of the time were outstanding, and the world is so alive with hints of Ra's al Ghul, Clayface, and Penguin, all who play a major role in future games. It's just so cool to see Batman's rogues gallery and into the dark, twisted world of Gotham. The score was haunting and intense, and the combat was so fluid it set the standard for action games with its free-flow style. Seamlessly fighting between dozens of enemies at one time, being able to chain combos, counterattacks, and use a multitude of your arsenal to keep your combo going and get an edge over a group of enemies is so satisfying. But the combat isn't the only way for Batman to take out criminals, not even remotely. There are Predator sections where you can stalk and take out criminals from grates, gargoyles, around corners, and more. You can track their movements and slowly pick them off one by one, and as their numbers start to dwindle, they become more panicky and are easy to startle. They no longer want to work together. It becomes every man for himself because they have no idea who the bat's coming for next. These aspects had ripples through the gaming community, and if you played Spider-Man on the PS4, you see Arkham Asylum's fingerprints all over it. Seriously, if this game never existed, we never get that version of Spider-Man. Just take that in. The campaign of Arkham Asylum honestly isn't the most memorable or creative story ever, and I do have a few gripes with it. Basically, the Joker has a doctor, Penny Young, working for him so she can supply him with Titan, which is a combination of Bane's venom and toxins from Ivy's plants. Titan can turn people into hulking, raging monsters, and the Joker plans for an army of them to do his bidding. Woohoo! That could be considered an oversimplification, yeah, but it's really not that far off. Don't get me wrong, the story isn't awful by any means, but I don't look back and think, man, Rocksteady was spitting fire right here. There's quite a bit of backtracking, and most of the supervillains aside from Joker get minimal screen time, and as you near the end of the campaign, everything happens so quickly. You go from Croc's lair to fighting Poison Ivy to the final showdown with the Joker in a matter of moments. It goes by way too quick. Even though there are a multitude of villains, I only consider there to be 3 real boss fights in this game: Bane, Poison Ivy, and Joker. The sequences where Batman is hallucinating from Scarecrow's fear toxins are trippy, and they seemingly get sprung up on you. It's awesome to wake up from a hallucination, realizing you knocked out a ton of thugs while you were unconscious. I'm gonna sound sick saying this, but these sections are such a unique and fun way to look into Batman's trauma, to get a small peek at how his tragedy sticks with him today. But Scarecrow's hardly a boss fight. You mostly dodge him while navigating through his mental maze and fight skeletal versions of basic enemies that go down twice as quick as regular ones, and before you can even do Scarecrow in, Killer Croc gets him. After Croc takes care of Scarecrow for you, you get a chance to delve into his lair, and it's amazing. You have to walk on narrow platforms and are unable to run without Croc being alerted to your position and one-hit killing you. He also will occasionally jump out of the water and full-on charge at you, where you need to act quickly and hit him in the shock collar with a batarang to subdue him. On hard mode, he'll jump out right in front of you, so you'll need quick reflexes. It's extremely suspenseful, and one wrong move could spell the end for you, but you never actually fight. You evade Croc entirely and have him come crashing down on some pre-planted explosives. I mean, these are both standout sections, but they do not qualify as boss fights for me. For the real boss fights, they are really unremarkable. Bane is just another run-of-the-mill Titan monster fight, which I guess makes sense, but there's already so many of those, we don't need another one. Poison Ivy's more unique, but she's easy to dodge and the fight just drags on, man. I mean, it drags on. I know I sound very optimistic and loving towards these boss fights, but oh boy, let me tell you something. The Joker fight is the letdown of letdowns. You feel the excitement and build-up just to fight some goons, and the Joker ends up taking the Titan formula to become a giant hulking monster himself that no one expected because no one asked for it. The fight is over so quickly, and he's not difficult to dodge at all. This is the most disappointing part of the game for me by far. It was when I was a teen, and it still is now. You gotta love the consistency of that. Arkham Asylum has a simple yet rewarding upgrade system. Batman can gain experience from taking out enemies or solving riddles, and it never takes long to level up. The upgrade system has upgrades for health, combo moves to take enemies out quicker, upgrades to your gadgets such as the batarang or explosive gel, and moves and gadgets to help assist with the stealth sections. Arkham Asylum does carry a heavy collectible list containing 240 total collectibles, which include Riddler trophies, scans, maps, Joker teeth, and a side story of the Chronicles of Amadeus Arkham. Yes, 240 is quite a bit, and it seems daunting, but there are Riddler maps which help point you in the right direction for these collectibles, and it makes it a lot less tedious. The riddles are the most unique themselves, usually Batman having to find a certain item or reference to other characters, and sometimes you need to think out of the box to get them. As you're collecting these, the Riddler has a great time talking crap to you about your perceived lack of intelligence or how even a monkey could have found that one. But as you're approaching getting 100% of them, the Riddler's attitude starts to shift. He focuses less on talking crap and starts accusing you of cheating or having someone help you. He loses his composure, and it's so great to see unfold. After you collect all the collectibles, you're treated to the Riddler saying he's got one final riddle for you, but he isn't aware with 3 riddles remaining. Batman was able to trace his location and sent the police to come knocking at his door. It's wonderful and rewarding to hear the Riddler get his due, and extra rewarding if you're tired of him droning on every time you get a new riddle finished. Still, this is one of the best times I've had getting collectibles, and it never got boring for me. I was always ready to get more, and with the added EXP for collecting them, it's a truly rewarding experience. But I will say I could use it without the Riddler whispering sweet nothings and "hey diddle diddle" in my ear going forward. I would be remiss to not acknowledge another brilliant standout in this game is the voice acting. It was on a whole different level for me and a lot of people who watched Batman the Animated Series growing up. Hearing Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy reprising their legendary roles in the Batman world on such a grand stage, that was a cherry on top of an already great sundae. For a lot of people, Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill are the standard for Batman and Joker. But shout out to Arlene Sorkin reprising her role as Harley Quinn. Harley was originally created for Batman the Animated Series, and she belongs in this game just as much as they do. To hear all of them again was a love letter to the fans. After completing the campaign and getting riddles completed, there's a challenge mode where you can do fighting or stealth challenges. All challenges have a possibility of winning 3 batarangs, bat symbols.
Bat smacks.
I honestly have no idea. The combat challenges focus on maintaining a high combo to increase your score, while stealth challenges have Batman do 3 separate objectives to antagonize enemies, such as pulling someone over a railing with your Batclaw or ensnaring them on a gargoyle, among many other things. The stealth challenges are certainly the more difficult set, but with enough practice and timing, none of this is too difficult to do. The challenge levels all repeat areas of the main campaign and don't offer much in terms of rewards, unless you're like me and want those sweet achievements. On a fun side note, the PS3 and PS4 copies of Arkham Asylum have an exclusive Joker set of challenges I didn't get to play growing up. They're a lot of fun, but aren't too different from Batman's and don't offer any rewards, so it doesn't affect what console I would say to play on. Playing Arkham Asylum again for the first time in at least 6 years brought me back to a simpler time in life where all I focused on was gaming and being mostly stress-free. Games you played growing up naturally have a nostalgic feel, but it felt different than that. It felt like I was back in my old house around Christmas time and I just started playing for the first time. I knew what was going to happen and I knew the layout for most of the game, but I felt that connection and I felt like a kid again. Being Batman, kicking ass, and saving the day, I felt immersed. Are the graphics as beautiful as I remember? Of course they're not. And they don't have to be. And yes, Arkham Asylum does have its flaws, like the boss fights aren't groundbreaking or the most memorable, especially the final fight against the Joker. And sure, I wish things were more explored, like Batman's Detective Vision or the Batcave. I've made it clear I don't think this game is perfect, and I'm sure that's not every single complaint I had about this game, but I'm not going to nitpick it to death and chastise this game for its shortcomings when it was the first of its kind, and Rocksteady wasn't afraid to try something new. And it learned from its mistakes in Arkham City. If this was the 4th or 5th game in the series, I probably would have had more issues with these things, but this is the OG, and overall, this game has aged beautifully, and it's still loads of fun. It's that rare game where combat and stealth sections are nailed equally, and surprisingly, getting collectibles are fun and not tedious, and I think I'll always appreciate that. As Batman Arkham Asylum just passed its 13th birthday, I can safely say this game will always be incredible and worth spending your time in. Whether it's been 5 years or the whole 13, it shows signs of aging, but not signs of being dead and dusted. I'm giving Arkham Asylum the aged-like rating of a fine pair of jeans. It may have some holes now, and it may be a little rough around the edges, but it still feels great, and it makes my ass look amazing. With all of that being said, these are my opinions, and I strongly encourage you to try this game out for yourself. You may love it as much as I do, but it's also possible you may not like it at all. We all enjoy different things, and we enjoy those things to different degrees. This was my personal experience, and nothing can take away from that. I full-heartedly stand by what I said and would recommend this game to anyone willing to give it a chance. One last thing before I sign off. I know life can be tough sometimes. It can seem overwhelming and seem damn near impossible. I just want you all to know that you are loved and you are heard. Take your mental health seriously and let people know that you're struggling. It's never easy, but it's better than facing it yourself. You're not in this alone.